Rachel with the most successful HOH of the season. Like, she got exactly what she needed to get done out of this week. Good job, Rachel. But if y'all are new here, join the party, subscribe. Y'all did really, really good last night. We got about, I want to say 30 subs, new subs off of that video alone. So keep doing what y'all doing. Thumbs up the video, drop the comments down below, share the video, subscribe if you're new. We still moving. We halfway through the season. So stay with me, stay locked to the channel. I'm gonna be here every single way. What's today? Thursday, Sunday, and Wednesday. Stay locked, but let's get into this episode. All right, so after the veto, Rachel storms off in her dramatic effect. And Keanu's surprised because Rachel, like, he and Rachel are working together and she didn't even consult him on what she was going to do. Obviously, why would she? I wouldn't do it either. But he was like, you basically just attacked the half of the side of the house that I'm actually working with. So me not knowing is kind of weird. But Rachel states that Lauren using the veto was dumb. And, like, me putting Rylie on the block, that was a power move. But it also was the smartest move for me in this game, which it was. Like, get out somebody that's on her side, but definitely get out somebody who poses a threat to you in this game. And that's a big game player that she needs to get out, and she knows that that's the best time to do it because he doesn't really have any other option but to win that Blockbuster. And if he doesn't win it, you can rally those votes to get him out. But Morgan, she's happy the veto was used on Vince because she basically wants to make sure that she wins that Blockbuster so she won't be on the block against Mickey, and she can use that opportunity to get votes to campaign to make sure that Vicky is Vicky. I've literally mixed Vince and Mickey together, but to make sure that Mickey is safe so that she still has both Mickey and Vince, her two number ones. So Lauren, she's sitting there talking about how she feels like she made the right decision, though she's scared. I say, grow up, Lauren. Same thing I said last night, grow up. But Katherine comes in there pissed and she's crying. I'm so mad. Why would you use it? Like, stand up. You should be happy that she used it because she's saving your life. But we'll get to her in a minute. But she's crying. And of course, Lauren's now crying too. Kelly's consoling Katherine while Keanu's consoling Lauren. I said, if y'all gonna sit here and cry about some dude who y'all didn't even know a month or two ago, y'all can go home too. Because, like, we want to watch people play Big Brother. We want to see these games. We want to see these type of moves. That's what we watch Big Brother for, to see these type of, like, ruthless moves. That's what I want to see. If y'all gonna sit here and cry about some people that y'all don't even know, go the fuck home. Because me on the show, you best believe I'm cutting people. I'm making moves. I ain't worried about y'all. I didn't know y'all in here. Maybe I'll get close to you in the show, but, like, I still don't know you at the end of the day. But Rachel, we see her up in the HOH room with Will and Ashley, and they gagging about it. And she was like, essentially, that was the only move that I could make. I didn't want to have to do that. Didn't want to have to renominate somebody, but shit, if I have to renominate somebody, I got to take a shot. And that's what I did. And Ashley and Will are co-signing the move. They're like, this is the biggest move that you can make. Mickey comes up there, and Rachel's asking her if she's okay. And Mickey's like, yeah, I mean, I just wasn't expecting that one. And Mickey's like, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like I know that I have Ashley, Will, Ava, Katherine, and Lauren as votes. And I'm like, Katherine? I'm like, against Rylie? You think she would vote for you? And then she said maybe Lauren, because Lauren sways with the wind. As we all know, Lauren can't make a decision for herself. If the majority of the house is voting one way, she obviously would vote that way. But she's like, I mean, worst case scenario is me and Morgan sitting on the block after the Blockbuster, and that's what I don't want to have happen. But they're telling Mickey essentially, like, you need to win that Blockbuster. We're going to get to it. But Kelly and Vince, they're having a conversation. I feel like this is the first time we've seen them converse since she got sick of him whenever he did what he did when he didn't vote to keep Adrian. But she's pretty much asking him, like, when did you and Lauren get so close to the point where she wants to use the veto on you? And he's like, we're really not that close. They're not that close, but you could tell, like, Vince has his, as we all stated, and as Rachel already clocked, he's got his hand in a little bit of everything in the house. So obviously he's got a little bit of a connection with her. But Kelly states, like, this is great because even Keanu doesn't even know that we're final two. And I'm like, didn't you say that your final two with him was off whenever he did what he did with Adrian? Like, Kelly, she's a trip, bro. Like, she's a trip. Vince is equally a trip too. I'm like, what? But Vince is sitting there dumbfounded because he's like, when did we ever establish a final two? But then again, he forgot that essentially that he basically made final twos with damn near everybody in the house his week of the HOH. And they showed a flashback of it. But we see a scene of him and Rylie talking, and Vince is pretty much telling him, I'm keeping you no matter what. Dummy. Always making promises to everybody. Always making promises. But it worked We'll get to it. But Vince then tells us that, like, we don't really have an official alliance, but we kind of have an unspoken, like, we're going to look out for each other in this game without actually stating that we're going to do that. But he realizes in the moment that he essentially made a final two with him as well. They show that flashback. But Vince pretty much reassures him that he's going to be safe no matter what. Morgan is now talking to Vince, pretty much asking the same thing, and he's pretty much giving her the same thing that he just gave Rylie. You're safe no matter what. I said he's such a terrible game player. The only difference is he's playing with a bunch of stupid people. If he was playing with a bunch of good game players, he'd have been gone because you play so sloppy. Like, but then again, at the end of the day, I probably would keep somebody like, if I'm playing the game, I would keep somebody like Vince in the game because he plays so sloppy, and I know I could literally annihilate him in a final two speech because he doesn't really have a real solidified game that actually makes you want to vote for him to win $750,000. He's just like winging it. There's no real strategy behind anything that he's doing. But Mickey and Katherine, they're having a conversation. This was interesting. Katherine is sitting there talking about how she's been working kind of closely with Mickey, but like if she's on the block, I need to get her out because she's somebody that does need to go. And if she's on the block after the Blockbuster, I'm going to make sure I have to cut her. So Morgan comes in because they're literally using the M&Ms. You know, y'all know the M&M trick because they don't have pencils. They can't write in there. They can't do anything. So you got to use certain things to kind of like map out game plans. So Mickey's in there doing that with Katherine, and Morgan comes walking in and sees Mickey put her leg over the M&Ms to kind of like swipe them away. Katherine's sitting there eating them now. Morgan puts two and two together and is like, they over here doing this because me and Mickey were doing this. I introduced Mickey to this kind of strategy with the M&Ms, and to see her doing this shit with her makes me think I can't trust her. So she sits in there and states that, but Morgan's sitting there stating too at the same time in her DR that she doesn't want to campaign against Mickey, but then Mickey's sitting here doing it to her. I'm like, is Mickey supposed to not campaign because you don't want to campaign? Mickey actually wants to win the game. She's not the best game player, but one thing I will respect about Mickey is that she is thinking about Mickey and Mickey only. So it's selfish, but it's like, can I really be mad at her? Because if I was playing the game, I would be thinking about Grant and Grant only too. Like, yeah, I might play it better than her because she's very reckless with the way that she plays. But Mickey has made it very clear that she's only in this game for Mickey. Like, even to you, you should know that. But Ashley, Mickey, Katherine, and Rylie, they're sitting downstairs eating. Mickey mentions to Ashley, like, you spending more time in the HOH this week than you did when I was at HOH. Basically, in a way, insinuating that Ashley has Rachel's ear. So she's making, and Ashley clocked it, and Ashley was pissed. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we literally are working together, and you're sitting here saying this in front of somebody who's on the block, aka Rylie. You basically are insinuating that I had a hand in what happened, which even if Mickey wasn't doing that, it still can make somebody think, okay, well, Ashley's very close to Rachel. Who's to say she's not the reason why I'm up here? So Ashley's right to think that, and then again, you couldn't put it past Mickey because Mickey would do something like that. So she goes upstairs, Ashley does, and she's up there with Will and Rachel, and she out here doing this stuff to me, and Rachel and Will are like, Mickey did this shit on purpose, and I wouldn't doubt it. But Ashley and Will, they're pretty much stating like she does that shit all the time on purpose, and it makes you not want to keep her in this game. It makes you want to vote her out. And Will says, like, over the last couple of days, it's become even more clear that Mickey is not a team player. She is very much a sole player, which, I mean, that's been clear. But Morgan and Ashley are now having a conversation in the HOH. And Morgan tells her, like, Mickey had told me that she feels like you, Ashley, are in the best position in this game. And I feel like Ashley's definitely in a good spot. Is she in the best position in this game? I don't think so. I honestly feel like the person who has the best positioning in the game, in my personal opinion, I feel like might possibly be, it might be Ava. Honestly. At least right now. But y'all tell me, who do y'all think is in the best position? But the flashback confirms Mickey did in fact state that. So Morgan's like, I mean, I just don't get why it bothers Mickey so much. But Ashley's like, I mean, she get more and more pissed the more she's sitting there listening to it, because she's like, we're supposed to be allies. Like, why are you sitting here doing this? Right. But Morgan, she's up in the HOH room now with Rachel, Ashley, and Will. And they're talking about how Mickey was the first person to really want Rachel out, which we know that to be true. So Morgan then states that she knows she's always been like, I feel like I'm always just a number to Mickey. Everybody else agrees that they feel the same way, which is true. Which, I mean, can you really fault Mickey for that, though? Because it's like, at the end of the day, she has to set herself up to win. But they're not wrong. But Ashley's like, I mean, I'm voting against Mickey. Like, I'm voting against her. And Will's like, yeah, she got to go. So Rachel's like, we just have to be open with each other, essentially. Like, we have to be open with what we're doing in this game. If we're going to work together, we got to do this. So they decide to pretty much talk about wanting to create an alliance. And Morgan has Will go get Vince. Vince comes up and they propose an alliance and they call themselves the judges so that they can decide who goes home each week. So they state that if it's Rylie versus Mickey, Mickey's going to go home, or Mickey's going to get saved. But if it's her against Morgan, they're going to vote her out, obviously, because Morgan's in their alliance. So we get to the Blockbuster. It's one of them crapshoots. I like this crapshoot that they do. They do it every season where they have that long, like, windy board, and you have to roll the ball down there, and then they have all the numbers on the side, and you want to get it in the largest one, in the largest number. So with this one, you do that, but you can do it multiple times, but there's a time limit. You got 2 minutes to get your ball as high as you want it to, and you go buzz in before 2 minutes is up. Because if you buzz in and you have the highest number at the end of it, at the end of the 2 minutes, you win the Blockbuster. So you can basically look around and see who got what. If my number is stronger than everybody else's at that time, I can go buzz in and be straight. Rylie was first to get like a high number. So he was watching Mickey and Morgan half of the time because they were throwing theirs and theirs wasn't getting nowhere near his. Morgan ends up getting hers up high. And I said, oh shit, Morgan done won it. Because they would not show Mickey, y'all. They would not show Mickey. I was like, Morgan won. Because Rylie went and buzzed in when he saw Morgan. And I'm not going to hold y'all. Mickey been getting on my fucking nerves. She been on my nerves. I've been wanting her to go home. When they pan that camera around when I thought Morgan had won and I see Mickey standing over there like... And you look where her ball is, she was 2 away from 40. She had 38, and the rest of them are sitting over there, standing there knowing that they lost because they already done buzzed in. I said, Mickey kind of ate that. I ain't gonna hold you. That was some villainous shit. Because the way she went and hit that shit and was sitting there unfazed, because she already knew she won. I said, you might have ate that. You might have got me back with your mean ass. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but Mickey kind of did that for me. I don't know. It's giving good villain. So Mickey wins the Blockbuster, y'all. She won. I said, oh, shit. So they come back and reveal who won. Of course, it was a lukewarm reception. Not too many people wanted her to win. And it's time to vote. I was like, okay, here we go. Morgan versus Rylie. Mickey gets in there and votes to evict Rylie. I wasn't too shocked about that. Katherine goes in there and votes to evict Morgan. Obviously, we know that. Vince, I was like, where is he going to go? Because Vince, before they actually voted, he was over there talking to Keanu, pretty much stating like if I was trying to make out what he stated. I feel like he said something like, I don't know if Rachel's word is going to be bond going into next week. Keanu was like, no. It basically made it seem like he was pretty much validating what he had stated. And the vote that he had later confirms that that's how I feel. That's what I feel he said. But Vince ended up voting to evict Rylie. I said, oh shit. So Ashley comes in there. She votes to evict Rylie. Wasn't shocked. Will does the same. Ava comes in there. This chick is crazy. She sat up in there and was frozen. And you could tell she was crying before she even got in there because her nose was red. Julie asked her who she's voting to evict. And she's and then she evicts Rylie. I said, oh shit, he's gone. I was like, yes. Yes, because he's psycho. And I'm like... We'll get to it. Kelly comes in there. She votes to evict Morgan. I'm not shocked. Lauren does the same. Keanu does the same. He votes to evict Morgan. Wait till Rachel catches wind of that. But Rylie is hold on, let me tell you. Julie, she pulled that fake out. Y'all know Julie sometimes like to fake out. It's a 5-4 vote to evict Rylie, and she goes in there and states, Morgan, you are safe. And she pulled that fake out. The tears. Oh my God. Katherine crying. I'm like, you should be fucking happy. They just did you a solid getting you away from that psychopath. Like, he's literally about to eat. Like, what? She's crying. Mickey's in there crying. Keanu's in there crying. Vince is crying. Ava's crying. I'm like, if y'all don't suck it. Lauren's crying. I'm like, suck it the fuck up. Like, please. Rylie is evicted, and I'm happy. I'm extremely happy. But that was the episode, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thought down below in the comments. Thumbs up the video, drop the comments, share the video, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all on Sunday. We got the wall competition. That's my favorite competition. My favorite one. And they say it's supersized. It's probably going to be an 1.5 hour episode. So I'll see y'all then. Peace.